Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. This is a test. I'm going to do sort of a podcast today on live. You know, so let's see. I'm just going to do a test, and I'll probably do another. I'll do the regular podcast probably this weekend. So I'm just testing to see how it goes. I don't know what's going on. I just can't. So I'll be back. So that's not a problem like that. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try again. Let's see. The reason I'm doing this podcast today is the 60th anniversary of Rayner and Friends, the TV show that aired on WGN TV Channel 9 in Chicago. Also, it's Ray Rayner's birthday. Yeah, it's his birthday. So, So I will talk about my memories of him, and so let's see. So let's get started over there. So there's no commercial. I'm not going to put that there. I'm going to try later. We'll see what happens. So let's start at the beginning. I'm going to talk about the man, Ray Rayner. Ray Rayner was born in Queens, New York, July 23rd, 1919. Today is his birthday. His name was spelled Rayner, Rahner, instead of Rayner. And his first radio job was in Long Island, you know. And he attended night school at Fordham University up in the Bronx in New York. And then he was enlisted in the Army Air Force, and he was a navigator of a B-17, which was, what was that? It was like a Ford bomber. It was like a plane like that during World War II. And he was a prisoner of war, and he was shot down over France on April 3rd, 1943. And let's see. So, yeah. And, he escaped, so he was fine. And then after that, when he got got out of that, he worked briefly in Grand Rapids, Michigan, radio station WOOD, and then in New York, and then Dayton. Later, he came in Chicago. And he became a staff announcer for WBKB, which became Channel 2, then WBM TV. That's the call letters. And he hosted the first show he hosted was a local morning program called Rayner Shine. And that was and he worked with puppets like that. And then he also provided for the show by the Mole Queens, if you remember that. Then he got a noontime program called The Ray Rayner Show, and his co-host was some woman named Mina Kolb. I never heard of her. And it was like a variety show. It had comedy, dance, pantomime. And it was mostly for teenagers and ran for about 5 years. And Channel 2 asked him to switch to a children's program. He didn't want to do that. And then it changed to the Little Show. Then it was like the Ray Rayner Show. And he worked with a duck. It wasn't Charleston. His name was Hadlock. I don't know where he got that. It ran for a couple of years. And then he hosted Popeye's Firehouse. And he was, the character's name for him was Chief Abernathy, and ran about a couple of years. Then he moved to WGN TV Channel 9 in Chicago in 1961. Yeah. And then his first host was the Dick Tracy Show, and he was Sergeant Pettibone, and he had a puppet named Tracy, and that ran for a few years. Ran late at night. No, not late at night. In the evening. I'm sorry. And then he joined the cast of Bozo's Circus at the same time as Oliver Oliver. if you remember him, and he was funny. I like that. He was great in that. And then he left Bozo after that, and then yeah, he would appear occasionally, and then sometimes when some one of the cast members was missing, like Bozo or Cookie or Mister Ned, you know, he would fill in. He would do that. He also appeared in commercials for Ronald McDonald for McDonald's. Yeah, I never knew that, and that's great. That's wonderful. Now for Ray Rayner and Friends, that started in 1962. I think earlier than that, and there was a man. He hosted the show first. His name was Dick Coughlin. I don't know much about him. That was on in the evening, and it showed, of course, cartoons from Warner Brothers. You know, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and he did that. And then it was first it was titled Breakfast with Bugs Bunny when he became the host. And then it was renamed in 1964, and it was Ray Rayner and Friends. And of course, same thing. It featured the cartoons, and let's see, let's see. Then he added more variety in the show. Like for example, arts and crafts. You know, and then let's see. Let's see. So then he had contests like jelly bean, how many jelly beans he had in a jar. He invited kids to, to perform or do kind of just like Hobby Lobby, just like in Garfield Goose. Also, they had dances and all that. And I'm going to tell my memories of the show. First, when you wake up in the morning, you get dressed, take a shower, have breakfast, or have breakfast with the TV on. Turn on channel 9, and then you see the clock on the wall. You see the clock on the wall, and then you see the chalkboard, and it would show the weather forecast for today. And let's see, and then it would show the weather forecast for today, like I just said, and it would show the sports results, from the Cubs and the White Sox, the Blackhawks, the Chicago Bears, if they played on that weekend. They would show like a little design like that. That's the only news I remember. Yeah, and like that. And then he would say, they would play the theme song for Merry Melodies, and then he would, it's him. He don't have to do, hi, I'm Ray Rayner, blah 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 blah. And like that, he would wear that jumpsuit with all the notes on his body, post-it notes. This is before post-it notes. So, then he, and then he would introduce a cartoon, mostly Bugs Bunny, right off the bat, like that. And then other segments on the show were, of course, Ark in the Park with Dr. Lester Fisher, and then he would. This would happen in Lincoln Park Zoo, and he was the director there, and he would show all kinds of animals. Oh, that was fascinating. And of course, they had the song by the unicorn. You see green alligators and long-necked geese. Na 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 na. That was fun. That was fun. I like that. And the show ran until 1981 in January, something like that. I think Ray Rayner didn't want to do it anymore. I think he wanted to retire. That was the end of that. Okay. So, and then, let's see. Other memories of that. He added more cartoons, not just Bugs Bunny. I remember he added Batman, the animated series, not the 90s, from the 60s, late 60s. He did that. Also from cartoons from Hanna-Barbera, like, for example, Yogi Bear, Snagglepuss. I remember that. Augie Doggy. We do that. But I saved the best parts for last. Two characters. One was Chelveston the Duck. Chelveston the Duck was from Animal Kingdom. It was a pet store. And when you go to that pet store, I think it was located on North Milwaukee Avenue. It was there for many, many years. When you walk in, they had the animals were right there. I'm sure there was a tiger there or something like that. A lot of people complain because it was like cruel to animals. They have a point. But it was a fascinating pet store at the time, and a lot of people remember that. I remember a long time ago, I posted this on my social media accounts. This woman said, "Why are you posting this? This is awful. This is animal. This is cruel to animals." And I said, "Look, lady, this is how it happened back then." I mean, she was about in her 20s. She had no idea what was happening back then. I mean, just accept it. Accept it. Yeah, I can't say the word. Uh, I understand that, but I'm not going to take it down. She asked me to take it down. No, 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 no. This is historical. I told this is history, and she said, "No, it shouldn't be on." I just blocked her. I go, get out of here. So she was annoying. She kept pestering me for about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. So go away. Anyway, back to the show. So Chelveston was there, and I remember memories of him. For example, when Rayner would introduce him, he goes, "Chelveston the Duck," and he would walk around. He would quack occasionally. Uh, and then, of course, he would get his lunch or his breakfast. Okay. His menu consists of, let's see, lettuce, maybe cornflakes, other things, mostly lettuce, I remember. And he was always hungry, and I saw him eat, like that.